Good morning or good evening. Happy Thursday. Welcome to our self-care time where we tune in and connect and move from a place of more centeredness so that we can feel more in the flow of our own energy and help ourselves release the buildup of stress and tension that can happen and wake ourselves up into the energy bodies that we are. So we're going to start standing. I have a mat out in front and I have a chair behind me, so we may change, but we're going to start standing. So just bring your feet underneath your hips and get a sense of where your weight is settling in through the bottom of your feet. You might want to rock forward and back just a little bit, and then find a place that feels centered. Create a soft bend in the knees and a softness all the way through the body as you elongate and invite the spine to lift all the way up through the crown of the head. And then just let your body start to do a gentle sway of a twist in the spine. So very gentle, really slow, kind of just swaying left to right, letting the body begin to flow here. And you can let that twist become a little bit bigger. You can close your eyes or let them stay open. Add a soft gaze as you begin to notice how it feels to bring this movement into the body. And then just letting the arms sway a little bit in extension of that twist that you're creating in the spine. And checking in with your breath, inviting the inhale to move down into the belly a little bit deeper. And gently waking up here. Noticing what's present for you right now. And just being grateful to have this little time carved out where everything in your life that was happening earlier today can be just put on pause for a moment, and everything that's going to be coming after our class is, not something we have to be thinking about right now. So right now we're just being present and connecting. Good. So then we'll let that come to a little bit smaller again, back into just the body and the torso twisting, the arms hanging relaxed at your side. Good. And just coming back to the center here. Let's go ahead and we're going to inhale our arms up. And then we're just going to exhale them as they float down. Good. Inhaling up. And a big opened mouth exhale. With your mouth kind of wide. Big exhale from the throat. Good. This time, keeping the arms up. And just a little extra arch there at the top, opening through the whole front of the body. Good. And then we're going to grab a hold of your left arm, your left fingers with your right hand, and then press up through that palm as you root through that left leg. So you're just creating a really long line from the wrist down into the feet. And breathing into the belly, into the waist. Softening through the rib cage. Good. Inhaling, we're going to release our hand and change hands. So pulling the right hands, the fingers down as that the heel of your hand lifts up towards the ceiling, rooting through that right foot and giving a good stretch to the whole side of that body. As you exhale, you want to really soften through the rib cage. And then coming back up, and we're going to release those arms down. Good. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Inhaling up towards the ears and exhaling as the shoulder blades come together and float down the back. And let's reverse that. Feel free to allow the whole torso to sort of move as it wants to, as you're exploring the rotation of your shoulders and the opening there. And then let's draw the shoulder blades together and the elbows, kind of squeezing and releasing, bringing the backs of the hands towards one another in the front. Inhaling as you squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows together, and then releasing the arms forward as you release your head towards the chest. Good. Inhaling and squeezing back those shoulder blades and then releasing forward. Good. We're going to float the arms up overhead. And let's do a swan dive down, coming into the legs and releasing our body forward in a forward fold, letting our torso rest on our upper legs. And just relaxing here. You can walk the legs a little bit, bend into one leg as the other leg straightens, and letting the hips sway from left to right as you do this. If you're feeling a little bit extra stiff this morning, coming up on blocks might feel really good. And then just, yeah, taking your time here to breathe into the back side of the body. And coming back to center, bending the knees and then straighten the knees. Bending just a little bit and then straightening. Bending just a little bit and then straightening the knees, releasing the body forward a little more. And then back into a soft bend as you press down into your legs to roll yourself up. And inhaling the arms up. And a little arch at the top and exhaling, palms together and coming to heart center. Good. With your hands together, let's just bring just the fingers together and press the rest of the hands away from one another. So we're really giving a nice stretch in the fingers here. Good. And then coming just to the fingertips and pressing all the fingertips together as you spread the palm wide. Seeing how big you can stretch the center of your palm in all directions through your fingers. Yeah. Oh, that felt good. And then soft fist, we're going to do some wrist rotations here. About 5 to 8 in one direction. And reverse. And then spreading the fingers out, and we'll do wrist rotations again. And we can just let those arms come apart and be at shoulder level here, and then reversing again. Good. And releasing the hands down. Let's step our feet wide and turn our toes out. We're gonna just bend into our legs and hang out here. So we're gonna, you can pull the uh, pelvic floor muscles just in, contracting them a little bit, and really just get a sense of the strength that's building here in your legs. And then we're gonna stand up when you're ready. Take a breath here, and we'll go back into the strengthening pose, bending a little deeper perhaps, and hanging out here, pulling up there in the pelvic floor, connecting with that core, letting the breath still flow freely and smoothly. And then we're gonna come back up into the legs. Good. Let's shift the weight so that the right hip, actually I gotta move because my floor is not working. Yeah, so just shifting like you might be doing triangle, but we didn't change our feet. So we're just letting our torso lean over to the left as your right hip moves to the left, to the right. Yeah. And then release the head and down also towards the arm that's hanging. And with your right arm, you could bring it up and over alongside that ear, getting a little bit more of a side bend and letting that arm come back. And then slowly lifting yourself back up. And adjusting back to the front. Good. And then let's do that to the other side. So this time we'll shift the hips to the left as the torso moves to the right. And then just relax the arms and relax the head and neck. You want to turn, keep your head kind of in, basically in alignment with the spine, but maybe a gentle upward tilt as well. And then if it feels good to bring that left arm, you can bring it up and just have it right overhead, or let it come overhead and stretch here. In this position, it might feel good to bring the head facing downward or up. It actually both ways feel good. And then slowly bringing that arm back and bringing the torso up. Good. Let's inhale the arms out to center, out from the shoulders. And we'll just exhale forward with a flat back. And feel a nice stretch in the back of the legs. And when you're ready, you can let those arms come forward towards the ground and release the head, neck and shoulders as the torso folds in a forward fold. And releasing here, just letting the breath open up the back a little bit more. Let's walk our hands over to the right or to the left foot. Again, feeling that side body, getting a good stretch. Hanging out, giving ourselves the time to sink and melt. Using the space to invite the breath to deepen. And when you're ready, walking back through the center and over to the right foot. Good. Walking back to the center, hanging out here for a moment. And then we're gonna create a soft bend in the knees and slowly stand into our legs to roll ourselves up, letting the arms stay relaxed, head and neck as well. Coming up at the very end as we stack shoulders over our hips and find ourselves back up. Good. Draw the shoulder blades together. Actually, let's bring our hands together and clasp them behind us. And just lift through the chest here as you bring the gaze up. And you can pull the arms down and away from the body if that's available. And if not, just letting the arms come alongside the hips and sending the arms and fingers down as you bring that gaze up. Good. And then releasing. Wonderful. Okay. Let's just let ourselves flow here into some hip circles. So our feet are still a little bit wider and bring our hands to our hips and let our torso move as it feels good as you explore how your hips are feeling today. And reversing. Good. All right. And then let's bring our feet underneath us, release our arms. And first, we're just going to bounce here for a moment in the whole body. So bending into the knees, letting the whole body enjoy a little bounce here. And then we'll pause, notice how you're feeling, and then we're going to bring that into, see how it feels to bring it more into the heels. So we're going to just lift on the heels and let the heels bounce down. So it's a very minuscule movement of the heels, and but it creates a really nice shaking, especially for like all the organs and the whole abdominal area. But you can feel it all the way through the body. So the heels are going, like bounce, 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 bounce. And it's like it feels very grounding. It's kind of like you're bouncing on a trampoline, and then pause when you're ready and just close your eyes, noticing how you feel. I think that kind of movement is so good for the lymphatic system. It actually gets the heart pumping. So it's a nice way to get the flow happening in our bodies in a really gentle way. Okay, let's bring our chair over here for a moment and let's have the seat facing us. We're going to bring our hands right in the center of the chair, spreading our fingers wide, and we're going to walk our feet back into a downward dog. So bringing the feet back about hip width apart, and then we're just going to press the hips down back as we bring our torso forward and find a place where our head is in kind of like right in line with our arms. If you can, rotate the arms open so that the insides of your elbows move more towards the ceiling. That rotates the shoulders. Maybe you can feel how that rotates the shoulders all the way back to the shoulder blades. And this is a downward dog here. So then let's walk our legs, bending one and then the other. And then coming back to center, we're gonna come forward up onto the balls of our feet, and we're gonna bring our torso forward, pressing into our hands, rounding our back, tucking our tail and our head as we move forward over our hands. And then we're gonna release the heels down and let the hips float back and come back into that down dog, straightening our legs a little bit, and then up onto the balls of the feet as we come forward, rounding through our back, pressing into our hands, releasing our head and neck, and then heels to the ground as our hips float back. Good. So flowing like that, inhaling as you come forward and exhaling as you come back. Waking up our spine. Good, and coming back to down dog. Let's lift, let's walk our feet just a little bit closer to the chair. So we're kind of more in all fours here. And then bring your left foot in towards the center just a little bit. And we're gonna inhale our right leg up. And just as much as it feels comfortable for you, keeping the foot flexed, pressing into the hands, holding that leg up for a couple of breaths. And we'll release that leg back down, letting it come to the center. And then we're going to inhale the left leg up. Finding a comfortable place for that leg to hang out, engaging as we flex the foot and press the heel back, and breathing here. Good, and then we're going to release that leg back down. And once more, we're going to inhale the right leg up. Let's bend the knee though, and we're going to inhale, lift that foot towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, let it come down and bring the knee in towards the chest as you release your head towards the knee. Good. Inhaling, we're going to let that leg float back and reach up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, bringing that knee in, releasing the head towards the knee. Good. Rounding through the back. Inhaling back up, bringing the head up as that foot lifts towards the ceiling, and then releasing as you come, bringing them together. Good. 2 more times, lifting foot and head, and exhaling, knee to the chest. Good. 1 more. And we'll let that foot come down. And then we're gonna pick up our left foot and bring it back, bending that knee, lifting that foot up towards the ceiling, and exhaling, bringing the knee in. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling. And inhaling. We'll do this 2 more times. Wow, this is one way to build up some warmth. All right, well, we're gonna bring that leg down, step the feet a little bit wider. Let's come down onto our forearms here, and then let our head relax onto our arms, and let those hips just float back a little bit. And taking a lovely break. As you're hanging out here, it might feel really nice to see how it feels to just let the hips, with your legs staying straight, letting the hips float over to one side and then the other. And there might be an area that the body wants you to hang out in and breathe. So listen to that and follow that. Good. And then let's bring our heels in, keeping the toes out, and maybe walk heel toe the feet in a little bit. And then we're gonna come bend our knees, lift our head, and just come into a goddess pose or a squat, if that's possible. And then we'll lift up our head and just hang out here for a moment. And as we inhale, let's bring the gaze up. And as we exhale, we'll let the head come in towards the chest. Inhaling, looking up, and exhaling, releasing. Good. Okay. And we're going to stand into the legs to bring ourselves back up. Bring our hands up. And then we'll turn the chair towards you guys. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves onto the chair. And we'll come sideways actually, so we can do our twist here. So come to the edge of your chair, leave your left hips on the chair, and then your right leg is gonna be off the chair, and you're gonna walk that right foot back and be on the ball of the foot so you can press through the heel. And then the left foot is connected to the ground in the front of you here. We're gonna inhale our arms up and a little arch at the top. And let's cactus the arms as we exhale. And then inhale, arms come up, and exhale into cactus as your head comes forward. Good, inhaling up. And then we're gonna twist our spine towards the back of the chair, and we're gonna exhale our hands so they can find the back of the chair and assist in a little deeper twist if possible. Always checking in with your body and listening to what you are feeling. So also checking in with the crown of your head, feeling that lift, feeling that softness through the front of the body. And then you can bring the gaze over your left shoulder to just add that little extra twist at the top of the spine. And breathing, of course. Always looking to find the balance between efforting and relaxation. And when you're ready, and just gently unwind from the twist, inhaling the arms up. And exhaling, bringing the arms together at the heart center. We're going to release our legs, come to the center, and just let yourself come to the edge of the chair, and we'll do a little windshield wiper legs here for a moment. Good, and then over to the other side. So we're going to turn this direction so that our right hip is on the chair and our left hip is off. We're going to walk that left foot back, stay on the ball of the foot as you press through the heel. And then connecting with that front foot that's, strongly connected to the ground here. The chair is underneath our hips, but we're not totally sitting on it. We're really more in our legs. So we're going to inhale the arms up. Big inhale, little arch at the top of the spine, and then cactus the arms as you exhale. Letting the head come forward. Good. Inhaling up. And exhaling, bringing the head forward. Inhaling up. And this time we're going to twist, finding the back of the chair for the arms to come down. Pressing and connecting with our feet as we gently melt into this twist. Feeling the alignment up through the crown of the head. And then bringing your gaze over that right shoulder. When you're ready, unwinding from the twist, inhaling the arms up, opening through the whole front of the body, and then exhaling, hands together and bringing them to the heart center. Good. And releasing our legs. Oh, coming forward. Wow, that was a lot of movement, right? Let's do our shoulders here. Let's lean back and just lift one leg up and then the other. So this one also kind of resetting us back into the center, also engaging us through the core. Good, and coming forward. Good, inhaling the arms up. And exhaling, let's come forward and just let the body drape over your lap. Releasing the weight of your body over your legs, releasing head, neck, and shoulders, arms. And then we're going to roll ourselves back up. Stacking head over shoulders. Good. Let's press through our arms and spreading our fingers wide. And then we're just going to let our left ear melt to the left shoulder. And if it feels good, to allow your head to nod as it's melting towards the shoulder. Exploring how the right side of that neck feels. This time as you bring your head back, let's hang out there and breathe. Oh, this is stretching more through the fascia in the front of the throat. Always being mindful of the back of your neck. You don't want to crunch back there at all. So just more lifting, more focus on bringing the chin up. Good. And then we'll go ahead and let that head slide across the center line and come forward. And then we'll rotate the gaze a little bit more towards the armpit. And just notice how that feels. Good. Coming back to the center and behind and back to the center. On your next inhale, allow your right arm to reach a little further out and naturally lift your head back to up. Inhaling, bring your shoulders, both shoulders up to the ears and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release on the exhale. Good, one more time. And release. Good, finding that stretch through the palm and hand. And then on your next exhale, letting your right ear melt towards the right shoulder. The neck and shoulders are such an area that gathers tension so easily for most of us. So hanging out in these stretches can be very helpful. So allowing a little nod back and forward across that shoulder if it feels good for you. And then next time it comes behind, kind of hang out there, breathing. Seeing if you can still stay relaxed through the body, even though you're spreading through the fingers and really extending through the arms and also lifting through the crown of the head in the stretch. You still want to stay soft in your belly as you breathe, relaxed through the hips and legs. Good. And then bringing that head forward and rotating your gaze downward a little bit more and breathing here. Rotating the ear back to the shoulder, and then that left arm is going to stretch a little bit more as you let the head float back up. On your inhale, good. And then draw the shoulders up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the way up to the ears. And releasing the arms. Good. Do a couple shoulder rolls. And then we're just gonna, let's let our arms shake really loosely and slowly here, letting any tension just kind of be shaken off. Let those shoulder blades on the back kind of join the movement of the arms. Good. And let's play with this a little bit. So it should feel really good. There's an effortlessness, there's a connection all the way from the shoulders out through the arms, letting the elbows float as you shake. Good. And then we'll just let the arms hang low and do more just the hands. Reminding our nervous system to let go, to be in more of a playful dance-like free form expression, state of expression. Good. And then release the shaking and just close your eyes. Maybe walk the feet apart just a little bit and feel those sit bones rooting in. And find a place where you feel like you're really centered and being held up, and there's just no effort. And we're just going to relax here in this meditative pose for a moment, noticing how we're feeling. Following the breath into the belly and giving yourself, inviting yourself to do any last movements that feel like they would be helpful, or as you're sitting in this meditation posture, if there's anything that the body is just naturally moving with, then just to really enjoy that. That way, when you then settle into the stillness a little bit more, there's a more expanded and spacious quality. So we're always want to work with our bodies and tune into our energy system and allow what's there to show us the way. And then to seal in our practice today, let's bring our hands over our navel, one on top of the other, and just take a deep breath and a sweet exhale. And we'll do that 2 more times. Breathing in that sense of spaciousness and relaxation, and exhaling gratitude. And one more. And letting go. Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing you a gorgeous rest of your day. May you remain peaceful and in a state of flow. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.